Hi guys, Cedric here with Boostemaboite Web Solutions, and today I want to share with you something that I'm pretty sure will save you a lot of time with your image optimization process. This is something I just discovered last Saturday while working on a website, and I did share it with the community in Kevin Gary's Digital Ambition Inner Circle, and it looked like many people were interested in having a walkthrough, so here it is. And to start with, let's go to Squoosh app that I'm sure all of you already know about and use, and you will see that you will be able to batch process your images with the powerful Squoosh algorithm. Let's go. I did preset my screen. Here's my browser with Squoosh. This is my finder with a folder and many unoptimized pictures for a total of more than 40 megabytes. For sure, that's not what we are willing to send to our website. And here is a terminal window. So I understand some of you may not be familiar with the terminal. Don't be afraid, I will walk you through all the process. For information, I'm on a Mac. I'm using iTerm 2, which is a very good alternative to the native macOS terminal. But if you only have terminal, it will be okay for you too. And if you are on a PC with Windows, I think the equivalent for you will be PowerShell. So to start with, how did I use Squoosh up to Saturday? Certainly, as many of you, I came to the app with my images, dragging one by one my images to the app, setting my parameters, and when I'm happy with the result, downloading the image. Okay, and then I had to drag the new image to my optimized folder and start again with the next one. Now I have to set the parameters once again, download the new image, and go on like this over and over. That's a lot of time used to optimize pictures, and I really don't like repetitive tasks, so this is not for me. And as I am a curious guy, last Saturday I did click on this small icon here. You can see that pop-up appears saying CLI command copied to clipboard, and then usage. Let's click on usage, and this takes us to GitHub, and here it is, the Squoosh CLI. CLI stands for command line interface. So let's see together how to use it. So first of all, to use it, you will need Node.js installed on your computer. If you are not sure if it is installed or not, you can check it in your terminal by typing node-v to get the version. And as you can see, version 16.13.1 is installed on my computer. If you have no version, you will need to install Node.js. And for this, just go to nodejs.org and download for your system. You are always offered two versions, the current one and the long-term support one. I will highly recommend to download the long-term support, which will be perfect for most users. Once you have Node.js installed, you will need to navigate to your unoptimized image directory. You can do this by typing the path to the directory in your terminal, but the simple way is to ask macOS to open a new tab here on the directory. That's not the topic for this video, but if your system is not configured like mine and if you have difficulties getting those shortcuts, let me know in the comments. This could be a topic for another video. So now I'm in my folder and you can see I have all those unoptimized pictures. Let me clear the terminal here. And back to GitHub, you can see that you have two options. The first one, the classical one, will be to install the Squoosh CLI on your computer. You do that by running this command in your terminal. So I copy, paste, it's already installed, but not a problem, I'll run it again. And you can see that the Squoosh CLI was installed on my computer. As you can see in the usage here, you use it by running Squoosh CLI, followed by options, and followed by the files you want to process. And as options, you can pass the version, you can pass the output directory, you can add a suffix to all your file names. Those two ones are parameters for the optimization algorithm. With those three ones, you can resize your images, you can reduce the color palette, you can rotate the image, and then you can choose the format you want your image to be converted to. So let's go back to my terminal. The easiest way for you to understand how all those parameters work is to go back to the squoosh.app to define your parameters. Let's say I want my images to be 1920 in width. I want them compressed to WebP. So now I click here to generate the CLI command, and I will just paste it in my terminal. So as you can see, there are a lot of those parameters, and you can see that the parameter that is passed is an object. By default, the command you copy is an npx1. This one doesn't need to have the CLI installed, but I can also run Squoosh CLI as it is installed now on my machine. But if I try to run it like this directly by pressing enter, you will see it doesn't work because I didn't tell it which files I want to convert. So when you copy the command line from Squoosh, you always need to add the files that you want to convert, and I will also add the target directory for my converted file. So for that I will add a -d, single quote, double dot, go up one level in my directory structure, and optimized images. I close the single quote. So I just defined the target directory, and now I will tell it that I want all JPG files, star.jpg, and just before I press enter, I just want to show you that my optimized images folder only contains the one I dragged earlier. I will delete it. Back to the terminal. Now let's go and press enter. As you can see, it is reading my directory. It has finished decoding the files, and it's now encoding the files. And you can see it's starting saving them, and it displays the percentage of optimization. And as you know, with Squoosh, it's huge, especially to WebP or AVIF. And now it's finished. I now have in my optimized images directory all my images saved as WebP images. So imagine you need to Squoosh a directory with thousands of images. You just need to run the CNI and it will do the job in background for you. That's awesome. So now just a few warnings, because this CLI is still experimental. You have seen that when I copy the command line like this, I get a bunch of parameters. In theory, I should be able to run it with default parameters like this. Well, I just tell it that I want to convert my JPEG images to WebP, and without specifying options, it should default to the default options. Let's try it. So you see that it's decoding, but then as you can see, I get an error when encoding, and it looks like at this stage, default parameters are not working properly. So it's important in my short experience to specify the encoding parameters. And then here is another warning. I will clear it once again and paste again the command from the app. And as you can see, I got from the app explicit width and height parameters. So let's have a look at my images here. And here we are. It's okay for the vertical one, but as you can see, the landscape ones have been squeezed to fit within this explicit width and height given by the copied parameters. So to solve this, it's not difficult, but you just have to know. Let's remove all those images and come back here and simply delete the explicit height from the parameters. Just add my output directory, the files, and run it. And here we are. And now let's have a look. Perfect. All my WebP images have the correct aspect ratio. And that's it, guys. I hope this will be helpful for a lot of you. If you like it, if you use it, if you have found even better ways to use it and to simplify the parameters, let me know in the comment sections. If you like it, you can also consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.